Hello, everyone. This is episode 2 of live podcast, which is Chai Pe Charcha with Sweety. You can post your queries in the chat box and I'll pick it up from there. In the first live session, also we had taken a lot of queries. I hope, in case you have not attended that live session, you would have at least gone through the video because a lot of things were covered. And I have also started a career guidance series in which we have discussed about roadmap to VLSI careers. We are going to come up with a lot of other videos in this career guidance series also. There is also getting started with VLSI series in which we have covered again a lot of things which are required for the freshers especially. Starting from what are different careers in VLSI, because a lot of people are confused what are different job roles in VLSI and what is kind of work we do there. And then what are the different skill sets which you require, because there are some people who are not so keen on coding. So what kind of VLSI careers they can adopt where the coding is not so important? In the front end, of course, coding is important, you need to know coding. So that was one thing. Then some people were good at digital, so they should go in digital domain. Some people are not so good at digital, they enjoy analog a lot, so you should go into analog domain. I say that you first go through that getting started with VLSI series. The starting few videos, first one is VLSI process, which will describe what are the different steps involved in VLSI process, because different job roles will come from these different steps itself. For example, RTL design is one step, so the job role of RTL designer comes from that. So, first thing which you should do is understand that VLSI process. Once you understand that VLSI process, then there is another video on various career options in VLSI where we have described what are different job roles in VLSI and what is the kind of work which we do in each job role. So, to be clear, at least 60% of job roles in VLSI are in verification domain only, because verification is one of the very critical domain. It requires a lot of human involvement is something which we require a lot in verification. You can't automate everything. The chips have become so complex, so we need humans to think what are the right scenarios, valid scenarios which can occur in the real life in the chip, and we need them to test all possible scenarios. And there are different domains in verification itself, like there is emulation, there is a traditional test bench approach, like we create a UVM test bench and we write different test cases to validate our scenario. Then there is emulation, there is formal verification, there is low power verification specifically for testing in low power applications. And then we have other domains also, there is FPGA also. So there are a lot of subdomains in verification itself. Okay, I have got a query from, I think it's Kunal. Currently, I am in master's second year and also started training program in design verification. Okay, from a certain institute. Okay, so what is your query, Kunal? You are in second year and you started a training program. Okay. So what is your query after that? Like, are you confused about what career to go, or you are not getting interview calls? Okay, let Kunal type what is his query. Yeah, so I think in master's second year, a lot of people can get full-time internship, because second year in masters is mostly project only. So what are the skills required to become a hardware architect in long term? I would like to work on next generation CPUs. What are the skill sets and what should I focus on? Okay, very good question. So see, since you are more interested in architect, it means you need to first become a good designer. because designers only eventually, after gaining a good amount of experience, will become architect. Now, when you are uh, going to this domain architect, it means the design concepts are very important for you. So most of the work happens in digital domain. You can first see if you are really interested in digital domain, or you want to go in analog or mixed signal, or anything is fine for you. So you need to first gain the domain knowledge in digital, electronics, analog, and if it's mixed signal, both digital and analog, and you need to gain this knowledge in depth. Okay, for everything, like there are encoders, there are different type of encoders, there are muxes, there are demuxes, so all different kinds of electronic circuits, and when they are used, there are synchronizers. Then you need to be good at static timing analysis also. Then there is CDC concept, which is clock domain crossing, because nowadays SOCs have become very complex. You will have multiple clocks in your SOC, because different blocks in your SOC might run at different clocks. It's not necessary all the blocks will run at the same clock. So you should know CDC concepts also in detail. Okay. And after that, you should also know, since you are more interested in CPU, you should know computer architecture concepts in very depth. Everything in computer architecture, microcontrollers, microprocessors, pipelining concept, memory concepts, everything you have to cover. Then once you acquire all this design knowledge, then you will start coding. So the first thing which you learn is Verilog. Now most of the time, at least for us who is verification engineer, we don't think a lot on whether this Verilog code will be synthesizable or not. There are some constructs in Verilog which are not synthesizable, but since you are more interested in design side, you need to understand Verilog in such a sense that whatever code you write, it needs to be synthesizable. Because if it is not synthesizable, that code can't go into your chip. So you need to understand Verilog and system Verilog in that perspective. And I feel even for designers, they need to do some automation. So I feel you should also gain some knowledge on any scripting language, which will help do your job easy. So these are the skill sets which I can think of. Uh, I have a question from Anurag. Why there are not open position for 2023 graduates, and if there are, then they are preferring master students. So in scenario, what is BTech? Yes, Anurag, I myself faced this issue. So after my bachelor's, I was trying to get a job in VLSI. I didn't get, so I went to software. And when I was in software itself, I prepared for GATE along with my full-time job. At night, I used to study for GATE, and I myself took that path of masters. See, we prefer the thing is VLSI is a niche field. If you don't have the right skill set and right knowledge, it is very difficult for you to work. And like we ourselves don't have so much time to train, because see, VLSI is a fast paced industry. The time to market is very less. If we want to make good profits, we want to launch our chip in right time. That is very important. So people who are actually working in industry don't have time to spend on training people. It's not like software that okay, I'll release the software and some features I can release in patches. It's not like that. Once your chip is designed, that's it. You can't change what is inside the chip. It's a hardware. That's why we prefer masters. And I would recommend you also to take the path of GATE like I did. That is a very good way to enter. I think you can start searching, but if you are not getting, don't waste time. There will be GATE in February. I think you still have 7 months or so. You should prepare completely GATE. Like you should focus completely on GATE, get a good college, and then you can enter. That is what I can advise for BTech. mm, okay. Okay, what is the difference between different verification roles like design verification, ASIC verification, processor verification, formal verification, etc.? Are these skills required the same? At a fresher level, the skills required are same. Design verification is a generic term. It can be any design, it can be SoC, subsystem, anything. ASIC is application specific integrated circuit, like the chips which we use only for certain applications. For example, nowadays there is a lot of things happening on this automated cars, right? Automated self-driving cars. So the chips which can be used for this automated self-driving cars, they are application specific integrated circuit, because you can't use those kind of chips for any other application. They are particularly designed for that. So such kind of chips are called as ASICs. Processor verification is for the processors. It can be CPU like we use, or it can there is another domain of processor verification, which is graphics. So GPU is graphics processors. So people who work on graphics processors are again into GPU. And formal verification, see, it's I will say it's a form of advanced technique now, because chips have become so complex. It's very difficult to verify everything using just one technique. So formal verification is a technique through which certain parts of design we can verify easily. And as a fresher, if you want to become formal verification engineer, you should have strong knowledge on system verilog assertions, because everything you write in formal is converted into assertions by the tool. Even if you are writing some connectivity checks, they are also converted into assertions by the tool. So system verilog assertions, strong knowledge is a good way to start for formal verification, and rest all skill sets remain same. Okay. Freshers with trained are getting less salary as compared to students who are from IIT, NIT. Why so? See, now every company has their own standards. They would have decided, if they go to on campus, they will give this much, and if they hire someone, they will give this much, and it also depends on college. So frankly speaking, at a fresher level, it's okay, whatever you get, please take it. After 2 to 3 years, if you are good, you can get a good salary. So I will say, at least for 3 years, don't think a lot about salary. Just think that you should get a job in the domain of your interest. Gain a lot of knowledge in this 3 years, practice a lot, and after that make a switch, and you can cover that salary gap later in your career. Don't worry about that. Okay, is PhD from IITs in computer architecture good option, given that 5 to 6 years commitment if we want to work in industry? Okay, see, according to me, I don't feel doing full-time PhD is a good idea. Some people join industry and along with their work only they do PhD. That's what I feel is better, because getting that 5 to 6 years industry experience is much better than PhD. MTech, I recommend full time, but PhD, according to me, full time is not a good idea. MTech should be enough for getting an entry. MTech from a good, decent college, if you can get through GATE, or even there are some colleges who have their own exams. The syllabus is almost same as what I have observed. So don't go for full time PhD, according to me. If I am getting any opportunity from service base, but they have 4 years bond and 6 lakh for bond breaking in this situation, what should we do? Actually, I don't like bond, frankly speaking, and 4 years is a long time. So I think you can take that offer for now, but along it start searching, because 6 lakhs is a huge amount, and then bond of 4 years. So there are some other service based companies who are just having 2 to 3 years bond, and the bond amount is also little less. So try to search such companies. But in worst case, if you are not getting, what I will recommend, whatever service based company you have offer from, contact people on LinkedIn or anywhere. Try to find out contact of people who are working there, and ask for feedback. How stable is that service based company? How is the work culture? And is there a good future, like after this 4 years bond? If you satisfy that and you are in the company for good, can you leave and get a good opportunity? So this feedback you have to take from people who are working there, who are past employees or present employees. They will be able to give you to give you feedback about any service based company in a good way, because they know they are working there. So this is what I'll recommend: take some feedback and also try to search somewhere else using this as a counter offer. And if not, if you feel the feedback is okay from the people you have talked, you can join. Okay, how to get entry level jobs in industry? You need to have the right skill sets. There is no other option. You need to have right skill sets in, and if you are trying off campus, you need to have some add-on skills. What are the skill set, what are add-on skill set? This I have described in detail in Getting Started with VLSI series. There is a lecture on skill sets where we are covering this, so go through that. And another thing is, you need to do a lot of networking, because you need to get a referral if you are searching off campus. And third thing is, work on your resume, because I have seen there are people who have good skills, but their resume is not up to the mark. So all these three things are important. First is technical knowledge, second is networking, and third is your resume. And you need to create your profile in all the career portals, and you need to set the right alerts, start applying through referral as well as in the career portal. Okay. How I know in-depth knowledge of computer architecture or verification related roles for GPU, for GPU or CPU design companies will be must, right? Yes, computer architecture is must. So see, I have shared some free tutorials which are available in NPTEL. There are some tutorials for computer architecture which are available there. And I have also talked about few books which you can refer. All this information is available again in Getting Started with VLSI series on same Sweety Speaks official YouTube channel. So what I will recommend, the books which we used in our syllabus, like in our BTech or Masters, we had some books in computer architecture. If you still have the hard copy, you can just revise that, and you can also go through that video lectures on NPTEL. That is also good information. And a lot of other information, if you search about any concept in computer architecture, say pipelining in computer architecture, search it online, you are going to get a lot of information. So you just need to collect it in a right format, create your own notes, and you can get that in-depth knowledge. That's what I'll recommend. Okay, we have a question from Shivam Pratap Kushwaha. Ma'am, I am in fourth year. I want to build my career in physical design. How to start? Tell me tool to learn logic design and layout design. Okay, Shivam, for this physical design also, I have shared like some tutorials are available in NPTEL where they are teaching physical design. I'm sure they'll talk about the tools also. Since my domain is verification, I don't know a lot about physical design tools, but I think there are some free tools available which you can use. Can you please try to go through that free video lectures available in NPTEL on physical design? Maybe they'll give you a little bit idea about that. And moreover, for physical design, I feel a lot of skill sets are same as front end, like digital design, computer architecture. These all skill sets are almost same. And just few more add-ons might be there which you can get to know. Try to go through that free NPTEL course on physical design. And about that course, again, I have talked about, there is a lecture on Getting Started with VLSI where I have talked about free NPTEL courses in VLSI. So there I have told what are the courses. Okay. Okay. So I have a question. One candidate 2017 year pass out can start career in VLSI 2024. 7 years gap. She is housewife. She wants to start a career. Okay. See, first thing is to start a career in VLSI. Of course, the knowledge of VLSI is needed. So if she is masters, it will be good. For BTech, it's difficult even for 2023-24 pass outs. So I think doing a masters will help. And see, starting after a 7 years career back gap is difficult. That all of us know, it's very difficult. But you can still start. What you can do is try for GATE. If that person has not done masters, please prepare for GATE. If possible, try to get a good college and after doing MTech it will be easy to start a career in VLSI. And another way is getting into product base is little difficult with 7 years gap. So what I can recommend, try for some service based companies. This is something I can recommend. But yeah, you have to put a lot of effort because it's a 7 years gap. So of course, and you can't adjust on technical skills. You can't say that there was 7 years gap, so I don't have technical skills. The answer is clear. If you don't have technical skills, okay, we will consider someone else who has. So can you start resume preparation? Yeah, Anurag, I have already planned this. I am going to start a resume building series soon, in which we will discuss a lot of things about resume, how to create a resume, what are do's and don'ts, and we will also discuss some sample resume formats. So time I am going to start a complete series of on resume building soon. But thank you for that suggestion. That is something a lot of people have requested me, and I'll surely consider your request. Okay. I have a question from Neelam Rajkumar. Hi ma'am, I am from VIT Vellore doing masters in 1 year in VLSI design, joined few years back. I was graduated from, okay, electrical engineering, right? And I have very basic knowledge in HDL. How can I get internship in 2 year itself? Yeah, so you need to work on your technical skills, right? So like the skill sets which you need to work on are digital electronics, then computer architecture, verilog, system verilog, and if you are interested in verification, you need to learn UVM. So about all this, as I said, we have discussed about the skill set and getting started series. We have discussed about free resources and free practice platforms also, like EDA playground. So what you have to do, you have to study a concept and you have to practice the code for that, because a lot of people just study and they don't practice. If you don't practice, you are not going to gain knowledge. My recommendation is, whatever concept you are studying today, practice it so that you really understand it thoroughly. And if you are doing right projects, if you are having the right knowledge, you can get the internship in 2 years itself. Okay. I have another question. I am pursuing second year electronics and communication, and I want to enter VLSI. Can you give complete roadmap? Yeah, so there is a roadmap video on career guidance series which I have recently. Please go through that. I have described what are the different skill sets. What, even I have given some suggestions on how to start doing project protocols. So please go through that, and if you have any more questions, I'll come up with more series or more clarification videos. First you can go through that and see if your doubts are getting cleared or not. Okay. What is the role of STA in verification domain? Do a person need in? Yes, you need an in-depth knowledge of STA. So STA, as the name suggests, it's for static timing analysis. So it's mostly for doing that timing analysis, because as I said, chips are very complex. There are a lot of things in STA you need to take care: hold time, setup time. There are different clock domains. So testing all these things itself it comes into another domain, which is STA. So a person who does STA needs to have a detailed knowledge of all these timing concepts. So these are the questions. Any other questions? Okay, let me see if I have missed any questions. Okay, what are the strategies to follow for a DV fresher in product based or good entry level company? Kunal, same as I said, you need to focus on your technical skills. You need to focus on your networking to get the referral, and you need to have a good resume and apply on the career portals as well as the way to get. And there are job opportunities for 2024 freshers. It's not that they are not there. In product based companies, mostly they hire on campus. That's how they do. But sometimes the openings may come off campus also. And if you are not getting off campus into product based, you can join service based as a fresher. And as I said, after 2 to 3 years of experience, you can make a move into product based. So it all depends on your skill set. Okay. Is SVA important from DV role? So see, SVA system Verilog assertions. Assertions knowledge is more important if you want to go into formal verification domain or assertion based verification. Like there are specific different domains itself where we use SVA, assertion based verification or formal verification. If that is something you are keen on, you should have in-depth knowledge of SVA. For other domains, just if at least you know overview, that is enough. But in-depth knowledge for these two domains, definitely you should have. Okay, what are the prerequisites to do a project on modeling memristers, and is it wise decision for master student in first year for placement? Yes, if it is a good project, you should do it, and you should have a knowledge on this memristers and what coding language are you going to use. That you need to decide. You need to have a knowledge on that coding language and what tool are you going to use. You should have a knowledge on that tool and what exactly are you going to do in that memristor project. That idea you need to have. If you are really doing something good, that project will add value to you. If you are doing something which everyone is doing and that project is just a basic project, then it might not add a